I did DragCon last year for the very first time, and there had to be, I mean, nothing shy of 200 plus queens. And I thought, all these queens, and I was the first one. My name is Brian Watkins, and I have been in Vegas off and on since I was 21, and I'm 45 now. I love Vegas because I love the fact that at any given day I can go and see a show. I can dine and experience foods from all over the world. I can shop at some of the best and most exclusive shopping. I love that there are the mountains here, and if you want to go hiking, you can go hiking. You know, a lot of people think when you come to Vegas that Las Vegas is specifically the Strip, and it's not. There is such a gigantic city out here in Vegas, and it is growing so rapidly. I grew up in Orange County in California, and I lived there the majority of my life until I was about 21, and that's when I moved to Las Vegas. Childhood for me was interesting and different and unusual and great, kind of all at the same time. I juggled, I drew, I did magic, I rode unicycles, I did very non-conventional things that kids didn't do. My mom and my father were high school sweethearts and got married, had me, and then divorced actually when I was 2 years old. He was gay and decided that he wanted to live in the lifestyle and was in and out of different relationships for several years. When I was in junior high, my father decided that he wanted to move back in. My parents had stayed friends throughout all those years, and we had an extra room. So she let him move back in, and then for several years, we lived this sort of non-conventional life. And so I was then re-raised again by my parents. And I decided to come out when I'm 15 years old. I tell my dad that I'm gay, I tell my mom that I'm gay. And I'm fortunate because when I did come out to my parents, they were very accepting. My mother was my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. When I moved to Las Vegas when I was 21, I had shows at the Gypsy nightclub for almost 10 years, and my mother missed like 2 shows in 10 years. Brunch. I had an amazing relationship with my mother and my father, as unusual as it was. I mean, my dad, growing up as a young kid, was my best friend. We were inseparable. We did everything together. We lived at Disneyland. We were constantly at antique stores and flea markets and things. My father was a Hollywood movie collector. He was obsessed with Julie Andrews. Because I was a juggler, he got into marionettes and ventriloquism. And so we started doing children's birthday parties. My mom was the clown, my father was the puppeteer, and I was the juggler. And so we actually had our own tiny little business where we would go and do little birthday parties for kids and things of that nature. So I have had the brunch shows here for about 8 years now, and we do the shows every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with shows at 11 and at 2. So 6 shows a week. Show. My name is Chanel. I'm going to be your hostess, your tour guide, taking you on this fabulously up journey today. We're going to have an amazing time. Who's got a birthday? Anybody got a birthday? Happy birthday. Cool. Anybody getting married? Anybody getting married? do it, bitch. Do it. But I tell you, I was drawn to drag and the art of female impersonation, I think as a young kid. You know, when we lived in California, my mother loved Las Vegas. And we went to go see Boylesque with Kenny Kerr, and we saw An Evening at La Cage with Frank Marino. And I was 7 years old, 8 years old. I remember sitting in these theaters, not knowing what drag is, not knowing what my sexuality was, thinking, one day, I'm gonna do that. Fast forward 30 years, I used to be a part of An Evening at La Cage, which then became Divas. And there were times where I also hosted the show for him as well. You know, drag, and I think Rue said it best, you know, you're kind of a superhero in drag, right? And you get to put on the makeup and the wigs and the costumes, and it's an opportunity to create a further extension of yourself. It's fun to step out of your normal character and to be able to become someone else and to create magic for people that they don't expect and they know nothing about, you know, especially with Vegas. So much of our customers here have never seen a drag show. It's a new experience for them as well as for yourself every day. You know, you're going through the repetition of doing your thing, but the crowd is different. And so they give you the opportunity to create almost a new platform for yourself for every show. Amazing time. There are 200 of you in the room right now. So with that being said, we cannot all possibly be living here in Vegas, right? So we got some out-of-towners in the house. Where's everybody from? England. No, I speak English too. And right over here, how about y'all? Where y'all from down here? Alabama. This is a big day for y'all, isn't it though? We have electricity. People have teeth in their mouth. On that note, do we have any fans of RuPaul's Drag Race in the house? My grandmother had found a huge interest in vintage Barbie dolls. There happened to be a store about 10 to 15 minutes from where we lived, and the lady who owned the store was a married woman with 2 children, and my father and this lady, her name was Annette, found an interest in each other. They connect, they start dating. She divorces the man that she had been with for all these years. And her and my father have now been married for, I don't know, 25 plus years now. I moved to Vegas, years go on. I'm 25, I have my home, the first home I had, and I had a gigantic Christmas party. I invite them from California to come to the Christmas party. I paid to fly them out. I pick them up at the airport. I bring them to my home. I cater to them all night long, along with the other 150 guests that I have at the house, take them back to the airport, and I never heard a word from my father ever again. Ever again, nothing. I am his only biological son, his only biological child, and I am now 45. So 20 years has passed, and I've never heard from my father ever again. My mom passed in 2009, and a friend of mine contacted them. They were able to find my stepmother and him, and Annette answered the phone and refused to put my father on the phone. And she said to me, I will never forget, Annette said to me, if you continue doing all this drag stuff, you're never going to amount to anything and you're never going to make any money. Well, here we are. I had been working here in Las Vegas, and I had heard through another entertainer that there was some show coming around called RuPaul's Drag Race. I knew obviously nothing about it. Nobody knew anything about it. It was gonna be hosted by RuPaul, and I was like, oh, well, this is kind of fascinating, but I didn't really think much of it. I never did pageants or things of that nature, so the idea of being competitive in the world of drag was just nothing that I really ever had the desire to do. I wanted to host and just, you know, perform on stage and be silly. So Drag Race season 1 comes around, and I told my mom about it, and she was like, well, you need to audition. And I said, I don't want to audition. In my mind, I thought, am I driving race cars in drag? Like, I literally had no concept. And then she sends all the information in for me, the packet, and then I get the call. You have been selected to be on RuPaul's Drag Race. At first, I was like, really? I didn't really even have the desire to do it. My mom is the one that pushed me into doing it. It was kind of like, oh, okay, well, cool, like, thank you.
Woo! My God. Look at this. Wow, crazy, crazy, crazy. My name is Brian, I'm 29 years old, and I've had a show at a nightclub in Las Vegas for about 6 years now. This is sickening.
I walk on set and I'm just thinking, you selected me because you like what I do. You saw the videos, you saw the photos, and I thought, I've been very successful here in Vegas. People come to my show every Sunday and they throw money at me. I'm good, like I'm great, like people love me. I'm making a lot of money. Why would you not want me on the show? Well, getting on the show and then realizing so quickly that like, this is a game show. This is a whole different dynamic.
You did run out of time. Each girl was given 10 minutes, and there was no modeling. Could have been better. Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
So, you know, it was kind of sort of to understand the way the dynamics of TV work.
I am beautiful, internally and on the outside. And it's so frustrating to me that that image does not seem to be conveyed.
I thought I told you earlier. I really did. I would not like you to leave. You are a great contender for this contest.
In answer to your question, I nominate myself.
Thank you, Chanel.
People often ask me, they're like, well, you know, you eliminated yourself off the show. Would you do that again? I can't answer that. I mean, I don't regret it because it was a moment. And I think that in life, you make the decisions that you make in the moment because it was what you were supposed to do.
Thank you all.
Chanel, even though your time here has come to an end, your contribution to the world of drag is undeniable. Thank you, Chanel.
No problem, thank you.
No sachet away.
I am forever thankful and I am forever blessed. And I can say that I was the first queen to ever actually be seen on the show because I walked in the workroom first. So it's kind of crazy to me, you know, to think that there's been over 1,000 queens between all these franchises, and yet I was essentially like number one. Hello, hello.
Oh.
What's up? All Stars 1 was crazy because like season 1, there had never been an All Stars. So we had no idea what we were gonna be walking into. Not to mention that then we are confronted and saying, oh, guess what? Now you're gonna be competing in teams. And of course, you know, doing all of the seasons of RuPaul's Drag U was great, getting, you know, the ability to make over women and take them from frumpy to fabulous per se. I am honored to still be working and still doing it. You know, we just, of course, did All Stars 9, and that was crazy, that was insane, that was amazing.
Now look into my eyes and tell me that I'm not beautiful.
I enjoyed my time on All Stars 9 because I didn't go in with the mindset of I have to win. I went in with the mindset of I want to enjoy myself, I want to enjoy the queens, I want to enjoy the moment, and I want to be able to showcase who I am for all of the generations and viewers of people that did not watch All Stars 1 or season 1, and there are millions of them. So it just kind of brought a whole new fan base for me, and it's been amazing. So this is my home, welcome, welcome, and this is the formal living room, and it's all in black and gold. I have a huge, huge love for interior design. In fact, if I didn't do drag, I probably would be doing interior design as well. And I always have to keep my deer out. Although these are Christmas deer, I love them, and so I keep them out just year round. while my parents were very blue collar, they would go above and beyond and sadly in debt to like kind of spoil me the best that they could, especially at Christmas time. But after my mom passed in 2009, I stopped celebrating Christmas. I felt like, well, my mom's gone, my father's gone, there's no siblings, what's the point? Chelsea comes into my life, and Chelsea is my best friend. She's my family. She's my sister. She's my business companion. She's my life. She's my world. And so her growing up in her family, Christmases were a big thing as well. And so for years and years, she would say to me, why aren't we decorating? Like, can we at least put up a Christmas tree? And I was like, no, let's not do it, blah, 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 blah. And I would push it off and push it off and push it off. Finally, I said, well, maybe this year it's time. Maybe it's time to do it. So for whatever reason, I had a wild hair to go on Marketplace and OfferUp. And there was a post that just says, huge Christmas like liquidation sale. And I was oddly intrigued, and I don't know why, because I'm not a Christmas designer, I'm not a Christmas collector. So we go. I'm looking at all of this, and I feel like I'm internally orgasming. I looked at Chelsea and I said, I think we're gonna need to get a U-Haul. And it was at that moment that I thought, Christmas is going to become the biggest, greatest thing for me, and I can make a business out of this. And that's where it all began. So essentially, we have a company called Santa's Helpers Design, and it is the only Las Vegas rental shop for high-end Christmas decor and props. We find, build, fabricate very crazy, over-the-top Christmas decor. From trees and garlands and wreaths and sleighs and thrones and elves and nutcrackers, oh my, like literally, we have it all. We also offer design services. And so we are able to go into different commercial properties and just create these insane, magical, Disney-esque displays. We do very little residential. It's mostly commercial, like the Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. We have some restaurants at the Paris Hotel. And we spend all year long, literally all year long, working on Christmas. Welcome to my bedroom, my sanctuary, I guess, if you will. This is, of course, my favorite room in the entire house. I spend the majority of my time in here. You know, after doing a lot of shows or traveling, I'm coming home and I am just exhausted. So it's nice to be able to come home to a bedroom that I absolutely love. What you guys can't smell is that all of the candles that are lit in the room and in the bathroom throughout the house are all Christmas pine, and that is what makes me happy. Not just at Christmas time. And I buy several of them, and all year long, I make sure that the entire house and always my bedroom smells of Christmas. It just brings joy to my life like you can't even possibly imagine.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Chelsea and I have been known to jump in a U-Haul in the middle of the night and travel to other states just to go from garage sale to garage sale, from estate sale to estate sale. We have 20 different storage warehouse facilities from Vegas across the entire United States, where everything is stored. I own a lot of the retired stuff that was used in the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. I mean, stuff from when the park opened, from advertising material to set pieces, and then into the Christmas. And those things we don't use as rentals. I should, but being the Disney lover that I am, I kind of just want to hoard them all. I don't need 300 or 400 wreaths or garlands from Disney, but like in my head I do. So like it's just sitting there, and I don't know, eventually one day maybe it'll go into a museum or something like that. But yeah, I love it. It's joy. In 2021, when I decorated the house and it was just insane over the top, I spent 6 months. And by that, in order to start that crazy venture, I stripped this house. I knew that I wanted to go on the TV show, The Great Christmas Light Fight, and I was not going to accept not winning. So it was a matter of like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna go balls to the wall. And it was amazing because the overall outcome of it was so crazy that when we did finally open up the house, we had over 5,000 people come through that year. And there's nothing more magical than seeing a 6'4" grown straight man walk into your house and just burst out into tears going, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. The magic, the beauty that those moments create are so above and beyond words. And it's the driving force that pushes us to be able to do what we do. I don't have any children, so the joy that it brings families is such a beautiful thing. And for me, Christmas, it's never about the gifts. It's never about Christmas Day. It's not even necessarily about the decor. It's not about the music. It's an all-encompassing feeling of the joy of what it does. And yeah, it's magic to me. It is just absolute and utter magic. So many of us have grown up in dysfunctional families, and the parents, ostracize them. And I can't imagine, because I even though my father has disowned me, I don't necessarily feel like that, and it's probably because I was an adult when it happened. I prefer to look at the fonder, more beautiful memories of being a young child. And those fondest memories for me are definitely of Christmas. I love drag because I love the magic that it creates, and I love to be on stage. But my passion is in designing. My passion is in decorating. My passion is in the holidays. It's in Christmas. I am very fortunate that Chanel has allowed Christmas to happen for me. I truly believe that I am blessed that I get to do what I get to do. So Chanel, we're gonna see what happens. I just got off doing the All Stars 9 tour, 31 cities across the USA. I'm willing to kind of go with the wind and let Chanel go where it needs to go. So long as my Christmas business can thrive and Chanel has the ability to add to that flair and add to that beauty, then I'm happy, then I'm good. I started everything I do at such a young age that, to me, the evil die last. And I don't like to be told no, ever. And if you tell me no, it's gonna push me more so to even do it. So I'm just getting started. And while Chanel has lasted for 30 years, Christmas is just beginning for me.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.